everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Oracle Soul podcast. I am your host, Dr. Sarah Greening, and as always, I have my wonderful co-host, Estelle Larsen. Today's episode, as always, we're going to pull one of the lesson cards, and in general, we'll see how today's episode goes, but the theme we're kind of thinking about for today is to create order from chaos. And while I'm shuffling the cards to pull one, I'm going to ask Estelle if she's got any thoughts on our podcast so far.
Well, we've had a little break. So thoughts. Ouch. Now you put me on the spot.
I did, but I do this, so you should be ready.
Yes, I should be ready. What I will do is maybe focus on today's theme. So we're going to create order from chaos, which is very befitting. As we know, there's a little bit cray-cray at the moment, so trying to create order in a lot of uncertainty is quite challenging. I think there's things that you can do to help tame the chaos and put some calm into your day and into your thinking of the future. Because, with the chaos, it's harder to focus and look to creating a healthy future when you feel lack of control.
Beautifully said. I love how I can just throw out a title or a theme, and then you have this wonderful insight to provide.
It's very relevant. So you do see a lot of people looking a little bit heavy at the moment. Not that they're choosing to be, but as I say, with everything being thrust upon families and individuals, it is. You walk a little bit heavier because you're unsure about things.
Yeah, absolutely. And then there's just so much, and I mean, there's a lot of energy happening numerologically and planetary as well this year. And my understanding is July is like intense.
Yes, and we've had Schumann's resonance that's been here, there, everywhere. Like you said, all the planetary alignments, it's been nuts. And if I'm not wrong, we're just out of Mercury retrograde. I think that ended, for Australian time, that ended yesterday. But retrograde's not that bad because it makes you revisit things you haven't quite worked through. So retrograde's not really a bad thing.
It's almost like what's the word? Like what's the word?
You kind of
it's like a reflective time.
Unresolved. Yeah. Anything that's unresolved or not quite, you get to revisit. And you get another try at either coming to peace with something or resolving it. So retrogrades are pretty important.
Yeah. Cool. So 2 cards came up today. So I guess since we've had a little break, there's been some lessons building up for for everyone to work on. So a little drum roll, please. Do for the first card, which is, and we've not had this one before, is courage.
Oh wow! Look at the colors.
I know, it's beautiful, right? And the pattern too is quite nice. So it's purple background and then just vibrant. Courage. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. Now, how in line is that with what we're going to talk about today? And I just want to say, I don't look at the cards. This is just me sorting through the cards and feeling the energy of the card and which card is like screaming to be talked about in today's podcast. And that's the first card.
Wow.
So I'm going to look it up in the book. I don't know if you have anything you want to say.
The colours
Yeah,
are very
let's put that one up again. For anybody who's watching the video.
Because a lot of photos I'm capturing with the sun and even the moon are those very colours.
Huh. Yeah, did you see the sunset picture I sent you this week as well? Yeah, it was, the sun was huge. It was just massive. I don't think I've ever seen it that big before. It was awesome.
So there's a lot of interesting stuff colour-wise. Yeah, because the moon, for the last couple of months, when you take a photo, it's got that vibrant orange around it. And it's even giving rays off like the sun.
So it's like really like absorbing, I guess, or reflecting the sun's light, I guess. Just shows that the sun's more intense. But we've got like solar flares happening as well, right? So
yes.
Maybe it's something to do with that. Okay, shall I read what the book has to say?
Oh, yes, please.
What our lesson is for today. You need to remind yourself that part of the challenge of being a soul is learning to honor your own power. By listening to your inner voice and following its advice, you are acknowledging the perfection of your intuition. Fear is only an illusion, and obstacles are great opportunities for you to demonstrate that coming from a place of love will conquer all of fear's disguises. Perhaps you are changing career paths or entering or exiting a relationship. This test has been put before you because it is an opportunity to prove to yourself that you, and only you, can make the correct decision. By not taking that step forward, you may find yourself 2 steps back, only to face that same obstacle again.
Wow.
Courage.
Yeah.
I like the line that fear is only an illusion. And that obstacles are great opportunities for you to demonstrate that coming from a place of love will conquer all of fear's disguises. And I can't agree with that.
It's just your perception of that reality that you're seeing. It's a perception. And that, yeah, fear keeps us safe.
It has its place for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just a perception fear.
Yeah. It's kind of a mindset, you could say as well, right?
Yeah, well, some of it, how much is actually ours, or a programmed fear.
Yeah.
It's not like a real fear. Is it actually our fear? Coming from us.
Yeah. So how does that tie into creating order from chaos? Okay, sorry about that little technical difficulty there. Where were we? We were talking about creating order from chaos and how courage is related to that.
Yeah, and how the fear relates to the chaos.
Right. So I'm going to bring up Thomas Campbell, because it has recently come up in a podcast I've been listening to again, and I've listened to Thomas Campbell a number of times, but if I remember correctly, he's like a theoretical physicist and then has studied consciousness for like 40 years. And he has a book called, I think it's called My Big Toe is the name of the book, which I only recently learned that TOE was an acronym for Theory of Everything. And I just thought it was just a funny name for it's called my big toe or something like that. But anyway, so his theory of everything. Why am I bringing up Thomas Campbell? It's because he talks about how like the evolution of consciousness and I guess humans in general is has to deal with moving from fear into love, and like the ultimate goal is to exist in love. And then he brings in physics terminology, so talking about like thermodynamic terms such as I'm probably going to butcher this. I should be ashamed because I'm a scientist, but um, is the theory of entropy. So that entropy is the measure of disorder or basically chaos, and that everything naturally goes towards more order. So you're shifting from chaos to order. It's less energy to exist in a state of love or order than it is to exist in a state of fear and chaos. Okay, Estelle, did I make you speechless?
No, no. I'm just going over in my mind uh, his theory,
Yeah,
because that's what I always bear in mind, regardless of status. They are just theories, just a
yeah,
belief.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
Love, to exist in love, would is an easier state to exist in. Absolutely. I kind of agree with where he's going. With it, fear does bring chaos. It brings uncertainty. It We then release chemicals in the body that don't make us feel very good, which then feeds into fear. So, living in fear has a psychological, spiritual, and physical impact on the self. So, therefore, how we view and perceive the world then alters. Where if you remain calm and use discernment and remain in a state of love, your perception has order, less chaos. That's
Yeah.
how I interpret what you've just said. That comes from, is it Thomas?
Yeah, Thomas Campbell.
Thomas Campbell. I might look him up. Um, I listen a lot to that quantum physicist that wrote the Book of Fools' Wisdom.
Okay.
Um, so a little bit similar, uh, except he's walked away from quantum science and the whole science world, because, like as he said, it's just make believe at the end of the day and opinions.
Yep.
But it
And there's a
doesn't
lot
mean
of
to say there's not truth in it either, because I
yeah.
think there is. We can't, you don't chuck away the baby and the bathwater, you know. Um, but no, I want to look him up because that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and his theory really, I'm gonna butcher it if I try to fully explain it in his terms, so it's definitely worth listening to. But what I liked about what he had to say was for anyone that's coming from more of a physical standpoint, that his theory kind of speaks to people who are more based in a physical sense. Like
Yeah.
it helps them bridge that gap basically. And yeah, so it's yeah, I highly recommend. He's
Yeah,
a
I
good one to
will
look at.
get his details up here after and do a bit of a dive.
Yeah, yeah, and then let me know what you think.
I'll probably order his book. I end up
Yeah,
doing that.
probably. I've not read it, to be honest. I've just watched a lot of his interviews, and he's been on a lot of the major podcasts, big name podcasts that are out there.
Yeah. But with
And
the books, you can pick them up, read a little bit, put them
digest,
down,
put it down. Yeah.
digest. That's how I read those kinds of book in increments.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. So I think I want to talk a little bit about as to why I came up with the idea for creating order and chaos. And in my case, it's a little bit more of a physical sense, but it does, relate to your mental state, your mental well-being and all of that. And you probably have a little inkling of where I'm going with this. Because the past few weeks, my kitchen was being remodeled and I'm currently have a 7-month-old at home. So, trying to have her fed and clean and all of that, and then to lose your kitchen sink because it's literally pulled out of the wall and you have no pipings and cupboards are going in, and it's just total chaos. Everything that was in cupboards is now in tote boxes all throughout the house. It's just like the whole house is a total disaster zone basically. And so for me, I got the idea for today's episode was how I ended up creating order out of all that chaos. And the simple answer was I walked away. I said, see you,
That
bye.
works.
Yeah, like, and that's how I was able to deal with it. Because the most important thing for me was not the fact that the house was a mess or anything like that. It's being able to take care of my little one. Like, that is the
Yep.
priority. And the best way for me to do that was not in a house that was in disorder. So
Well,
went to stay with the in-laws for a couple of weeks, and it just came back and everything was done. The kitchen sink is installed and it's beautiful and everything is great. I still had to organize and put things back and whatnot, but there was also a change in my mindset over the past couple of weeks with this as well. And that was before I was kind of operating in this sense of, oh, I've got to do that and I've got to do that. Just you just have this kind of weight holding you down, this kind of negativity. And, stepping away was great. Coming back to a nice, fresh environment, you can come back with a different mindset. And then the mindset was no longer, oh, I have to do that and I have to do that. Instead, it's, I get to do this. This is exciting now. I get to clean my kitchen. I get to organize things instead of it being, oh, I got to do that. So I know this is kind of like a very, 3D sort of example, but it's what prompted the idea for today's episode was being able to create order when everything's in chaos.
yep. But we do live in the 3D world, so we can't discredit it yet. And you can't live 100% in the spiritual world because you're a physical being having, or your spiritual self is having a physical experience to learn. So the 3D has its place and it does affect. So it has importance and relevance. So when there's chaos, it has a real impact, be it
Absolutely.
positive, negative. Even the negative has a positive because you learn something out of it.
Absolutely. When you go with that mindset, because it is all too easy to be stuck in a negative loop of, almost like
Yeah.
victimhood sort of thing. But
Yeah, because I think that's what we're encouraged to um, embrace this victimhood. Even though, like, your kitchen's something amazing to have done, it's like, oh, but it's caused this and that. So, yeah, you fall into victimhood. And I think that's a influence programming that is encouraged
yeah, yeah, I would
rather
agree
than
with
to
that too.
go, well, me and little one, we get to go to the in laws and experience this where it's positive.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, I started to think about it as a vacation. Like, oh, we're going on vacation.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, exactly. And it really was because, it took away any of the other day-to-day things that I had to do was all removed. And my sole focus was on what it needed to be, which was just her. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, cool. Any other comments or thoughts on courage?
Courage, well, it's something that you should walk alongside with daily, I think. Courage. Because even the little things that are presented daily, you need some courage for that.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't have a sink, a new kitchen, but I got a new roof. So I had a lot of bang clanging, a very disgruntled neighbour who's a policeman and who was on shift work and not very happy at the noise of the builders.
So you had a lot of chaos. You're over it now, but you did have a lot of chaos. How did you create order during that
um, I
chaotic time?
accepted that there was chaos. I accepted that it was going to be like that for a week or more, um, and just to go with it. I didn't resist it. I
Mm,
didn't try counter it. I just accepted the noise level. I think that was the main thing for me. Is noises, power tools, stomping, all of that. Um, the neighbour, um, that wasn't too bad because the roofers kind of dealt with him, like as in we can't just stop.
yeah, yeah.
So
Sorry.
things kind of, in a way, took care of themselves as well. So
So it's very
I,
interesting how we both have two different ways that we dealt with chaotic times in our lives.
yeah, and now we have no boundary fence on one side um, until the fences put the new fencing up. So I got a little bit more chaos, and then the rest of the roof gets finished in a few weeks. So kind of still in it.
Right, right.
But
Okay.
yeah, I'll just go with it.
Yeah. So just embrace the chaos, basically, but not fall into the chaos, if that
Yeah,
makes
because
sense.
it's temporary. That's how I look at it. It's not going to be forever and ongoing. It's just a short period of time. So
And,
that's where my mind goes.
and when we think about the world as a whole at the moment, where things can be quite chaotic or seem quite chaotic, and it's very easy to fall into the spiral of the chaos. But I guess where, you know, the frequency of the earth is increasing and we're headed
Yes.
to this beautiful place, we get to embrace that chaos, to just know that it is temporary. Like there is an end sight.
Yeah, I definitely think with feeling the Earth's energy increasing or rebalancing, reharmonizing. That's how I like to look at it. Also, CERN's been switched off. So I can feel a difference energetically, and I think with the photos of the colours coming from the sun and the moon, I think that's part of the earth reharmonizing herself. You know, um, so that does help. How, because we're batteries, so we're feeding off this more balanced energy off the earth. So, in turn, that's helping us to be more balanced energetically, regardless of what the powers to be are doing, because you've got a different mindset through your energy.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so glad you brought up CERN because I wanted to mention CERN earlier. And so you just tied that in because I wanted to know how you have noticed the change. And I've noticed a huge change in energy since it's been like it's black, it's day and night, like black and white. Like it's before everything seemed so intense. And you know how the statement in the book for courage is fear is an illusion?
Yep.
I find with CERN shut off, you really can recognize that it was all an illusion. Like it's just this like
Yes.
inner feeling that we were living in this matrix, this fakeness,
And you
and
can
the
see it
reality.
more clearly too now. You
Yeah,
know, uh, they used a lot of techniques to where you couldn't see quite as clear. Now, since CERN, and like as I said, and Mother Earth is harmonizing natural, you see right through things. Here in Australia on Monday, we're having a nationwide emergency alert.
I heard something about that. I didn't like read it all. It was kind of like a headline. I was like, oh.
Look, they want you hyper focused, so this kind of fits into order and chaos, okay? They put it out there so the alternate worlds ran with it. And there's a lot of hyping as well. Not through bad intentions, but hyper focus, which creates chaos, doesn't it? A
Yeah.
little bit of fear and is it that bad? Is it going to the frequency? Some have said the frequency is the same one that they used in the Canberra protest on people, and some people got pretty hurt from the like heart wise and things like that. So that being put out there has caused a little bit of chaos and fear. So this is where discernment comes in my view. Um, you're not paralyzed where you have to hear it. Turn your phone off.
Yeah.
Easy. Flight mode. Turn your phone off. Turn your devices off. Don't go to the shops for a few hours. So when you use discernment and a bit of common sense, if it is true that it is harmful and can trigger some people, by turning your phone off, you've resolved it.
Yeah.
There is no problem.
And that's actually a good point because that's one of the ways to manage fear is by
Yes,
putting focus on what you can do instead of being, tied up in that there's this problem and you're playing again that victim card. Instead, you
yes.
switch the mindset and put the energy into what you can do. And if there's nothing you can do, then you shouldn't worry about it because
Well,
there's
you got to
nothing you can do.
remember
Yeah.
that that's just,
There
that's
you go.
what that is. That is not equal to this.
Yeah.
This is superior. So I get that and I go, problem solved.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
no fear, no chaos.
Yeah. Yeah.
People have to start and understand that. Yeah, like you can't always get something and just go,
No, of
but
course
it's
not.
that mindset. Don't go to the shops. It's only for a few hours. It's not like they're not going to play it for a full week, whatever.
No.
Turn your devices off. Don't listen to the radio. Go do some gardening. Go do something.
Read a book.
Read a book. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can create order, your own order, by taking a step back and not allowing that fear, that chaos, to drag you into that spiral.
Yeah. It kind of, when you said spiral and being dragged in, it kind of reminds me of like a hurricane and how, you've got the storm. You want to sit in the center of the storm, allow the storm to just swirl around you. And I don't know if you've
Be a,
ever, I was
yeah,
gonna say,
be a spectator.
I don't know if
Just
you've ever experienced like an actual hurricane, shifting, which it lasts for hours and hours, but to actually exist in the center of the eye of the storm is quite incredible because when the storm walls, when you're in the midst of the storm, it's crazy. The wind and the rain and the howling, it's insane. And then the eye of the storm comes along and it's a beautiful sunny day and it's calm and there's just, nothing. And then it shifts and then you got the storm again. So it's not getting pulled into that storm is to exist in the eye of the storm.
yeah, yeah. And when you look at it, being centered in the center is where you then are the spectator, just viewing.
Yeah.
You're not in the spiral, in the chaos. You're bearing witness.
Yeah. Cool.
And we have cyclones here, not hurricanes.
Yeah.
It's
So
all
they're the
this.
same
Yeah,
thing.
I
Just, I
know, I
mean, you know
know.
what? Come on, where's the numerology on those, huh?
Actually, I've got all the paperwork over there.
You didn't bring the paperwork to the episode? Come on. Okay. Are we ready for the second lesson for today? And then we can start wrapping up the episode.
Yes.
So, courage, and to pair with courage is dun, 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 patience.
Wow, it's like a
Oh my goodness. Look at the
reflection.
center.
I
Look at
know.
this. It really that picture really draws you in to exist in the center of this kind of thing. And actually, if we bring up courage,
Colors.
I'm just going to bring up courage again, just to bring in what we were talking about, the eye of the storm. Oh, wait, hold
Yep.
on. Right?
Yep.
Very interesting. Anyway, so what does patience have to say? I accept, oh, here, dun, dun, dun. I accept that everything happens in divine order. I can't make this up. Like, I swear, I promise all of our audience members, I did not look at these cards. That when I
Uh,
reviewed patience, like I didn't pull them out beforehand. This is amazing.
it is. It's the message that is meant to be spoken today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Earth has become a place of instant gratification. You must focus on the maxim. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. This card has come because you need to learn the joy of anticipation. Oh my gosh, I have a story about that. We'll get to there. The process of doing is so rich in lessons, but when you concentrate only on the goal, those experiences are disregarded. Life is an unfolding, and the more patience you practice, the more you will let the universal energy celebrate itself through you and bring the experiences and situations your soul requires. You need to learn that there's a rhythm to everything in the universe. And the more you are living with patience, the more aware you are of the lessons your soul is studying. You are on a path. There are signposts. If you are speeding down the path, you will miss the little miracles and treasures that have been placed there.
Yep. Very
Beautiful.
fitting. Yep.
Very much so. So I love the part where it says you need to learn the joy of anticipation. So this is going to be a story about little one who started playing the peekaboo game, which she absolutely adores. And so she's in her high chair, and I like go underneath the high chair so she can't see me, and then I'll pop up and say peekaboo. And she gets such a kick out of it. She's like laughing and giggling. And then when I disappear, she knows I'm going to pop up, but she doesn't know when. And she's actually giggling in anticipation of
Yeah.
me popping up and saying peekaboo. So it's just like, I was just reminded of that when I read that.
It's a perfect example
No.
of being in the state of joy and love and being in that state with anticipation. It's not traumatic, it's joyful, it's fun. So
Yeah.
she's giggling, she's
Yeah.
laughing, but she's anticipating. They're really good lessons, for such a little vessel as she gets older. Not all anticipation has to be, ooh,
Yeah.
it can be joyful.
Yeah. And that's very true because as adults, it's very easy to get stuck in the kind of feel when it comes to anticipation. But yeah, and it makes you happy too when you're experiencing that with
Ah,
her. Like
it,
it's
that is the wonder of parenthood. Um, you have this little vessel that constantly reminds you of all these lessons of living in the state of pure love. And it keeps you from, and I love that saying, about living in victimhood, because that's almost like a modern day cult thing to me that we're being programmed to live in. Everyone's a victim from something. And children, teachers, not to. It's that biological connection with your child that brings you back into that state of love and understanding. And therefore, your discernment of how you view the world creates some order, less chaos.
more
So,
love and less chaos.
yeah. So, our children help us to live in harmonious order and not that helter skelter chaos that they would rather have us in.
Right. And that also ties into the concept we're talking about of things being a programmed fear. Well, they
Yes.
come in with no programming.
Yeah. Like I said, I will get you to send me the details of that scientist because, yeah, I think he makes a lot of sense
Yeah, for sure.
and very relatable too. To even people that aren't necessarily, into sciences. If that's the manner in which he speaks, it's very relatable.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
And
Sure.
particularly where we're at in this time of life, we need those kinds of words.
For sure. I mean, it might not speak to everybody, but
Yeah.
there's been many different scientists and non-scientists that come forward with their version or their understanding of the reality that we live in. And each one has their own purpose, which is
Yes.
to speak to those who have ears to hear it and
Yes.
to help them on their journey. Just like this podcast. This podcast might not be for everybody, but it will reach and it has reached each and every single person that needs to hear this conversation.
I saw a little coloured orb drift down there. Very,
Oh, really?
yeah,
What?
just on your side. It went, it
Okay.
was like a
Hello.
greeny, yellowy little.
What? Just as I said that, or
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it just
okay,
floated down off the screen.
right here
Oh.
or over there? Where's the
Um,
orb?
this side. No, that
This one?
side. No, other side.
Over here.
Yeah, that side.
So there's a little
No,
orb right here.
yeah, yeah, it was down there.
Hi.
It's hard to get gets confusing. Like,
Well, yeah, because then sometimes there's the mirror version and everything. It's like my arm is to the right, but in my camera it looks like I'm pointing to the left, but it's not. So it's
I
it's
know, and
all
my dyslexic brain goes.
well, I guess we had a little visitor. Thanks to our letting me know. Did they have a message or was that just like confirmation of what we were talking about?
I think that was a confirmation. Yeah, it was only a little one, like size of my thumbnail, but it was like a yellowy green, like, and
Okay.
it just drifted down. I can
Cool.
see it, or is it on my screen? I don't know.
Well, I
I'm
don't
getting
see anything.
something.
I don't see anything in the recording, but
Hmm.
hmm, who knows? Um, I'm just taking a quick look. Oh, there's one thing I wanted to talk about. I'm just trying to think of how to integrate it into our order and chaos. It's related to energy, which funny enough, this orb, maybe that's kind of the spark to let me talk about this part of the conversation. So, both you and I have, and so we're still, I guess, working through the tail ends of major renovations on our homes that came with a lot of chaos, and we each have our individual ways to find order in that. We did talk about CERN and how we've noticed a huge, you got some itches going on there. We talked about CERN and how we both noticed a shift in energy with it being shut down. How has the energy shifted in your house since the removal of the roof, which is old energy, because I know your house is
Well,
old. And in my case, these were the original cupboards that were built
yeah,
into the house that I
same
have.
thing.
So it's very similar. I mean, my house is definitely not as old as your house, but it's still the original. And, when you're built into the wall, there's, not to mention that there's like the top where nobody ever looks at or gets to. So there's a lot of
Yeah,
stagnant energy that can get up there. Plus, the people who built it, their energy is left. trapped inside the cupboards and whatnot, that no matter how much energetic clearing you do to a space, sometimes there's just some spaces that you can't clear unless you physically remove it or like tidy behind, kind of thing, move it out and clean behind sort of thing. So,
Well, I did share that photo with you.
oh, the rainbow one?
When Yeah, that was a double rainbow. It was huge. We went to the shops, and because the reefers had all their vehicle in the yard, we parked outside. And as we pulled, the colour, the glow of the rainbow, I have never seen such vibrant colours. And it hit you in the face, and it was the full, complete rainbow. It was huge, and then there was another full rainbow over the top, not as vibrant. And I took that because the colours just illuminated and hit you in the face. And I looked up and I went, wow, that the house is celebrating the release of over 100 years, 120, whatever years of energy. You
That
know,
it's been holding on to and weighted down with. And
yeah, because we had, as you know, a lot of activity, yeah, the ley lines, but also old energy, like you said, that you can't get to. So yeah, it was like the house, it's bursted in celebration, and it gave us this massive double rainbow. And it was like celebrating. That's how I interpret. And I said to the roofers, oh wow, the rainbow. And they were like, huh? Looked up and they're going, oh my God. So, but inside, it's lighter. It has had a marked difference. It really has. So, a new roof, a tired, because the roof was the original roof, and it's seen and absorbed a lot in its years. So, yes, it has altered the vibe of the house tremendously.
in a very positive way.
Oh, yeah, everyone's got a bit more lighter.
No. And it's interesting because, if the house carries so much energy like that, that when there's a big physical change, that it can release that energy. And, that shows that your environment has an impact on your actual being. But then imagine what happens when energies that we have trapped within ourselves, like trapped trauma and those sorts of
Yeah.
things that we're carrying with us, that when we do the work to release those trapped energy pockets, if you will, or whatever they may be, like the impact that that has as well. So I think there's a little lesson or a little reminder of the importance of embracing change, accepting
Yes.
chaos, and allowing order to flow through the energy.
Yes, absolutely. I that resonates 100%. Since with the roof, the lighter, I've been a little bit more motivated and more focused. So yeah, it's had a physical impact. But yeah, trap trauma in people is very similar to old fixtures to your house, be it your roof, be it your cupboards, flooring. If we could look at our bodies in a similar way, we're trapped traumas, and then go, well, it's renovation time.
Mm.
I'm going to renovate. It's less daunting and you're more likely to embrace taking those steps forwards if you look at it as you're renovating yourself.
Mm. Which comes back full circle to what we talked about at the beginning of the episode about the Mercury retrograde and talking about
Yeah,
that reflection. And
yeah.
so, yeah, very interesting. Wow, what a powerful episode today.
And it's amazing how the topics do thread onto like a piece of string because
I
they're
was gonna
meant,
say they're like woven together, just like they're
yeah.
we're the weavers.
And you can't pre-plan that. It has to have its organic weaving, if we would call it.
Yep.
I like that, how things weave.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. We you couldn't write this at all.
No,
uh,
no. And why would you want to when
yeah.
what needs to be spoken is going to come out?
Yeah. Absolutely. Ah, I love it. Um, I do want, unless you have a few closing words or whatnot, or we can do that after. But I just want to go back to where I mentioned the picture of your house with the rainbow. And I thought perhaps that might be an opportunity for us to do a little plug for something we have for the podcast going on. Remember?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So something that, and we might do other episodes where this comes up or whatnot, or maybe this is the opportunity to talk about. I don't know, because we didn't plan it. We just did it and just letting it come out. But something that Estelle and I have decided to do for the podcast is to really highlight and what's the word? Uh, this is the only problem with not pre-planning things. You get stuck on words. um, present is not the right word. I just, it's like it's right there and I can't pull out the word. Anyway, what we really want to do is to highlight and display the beauty of nature and this wonderful earth that we live on, and just to really remind ourselves of just how beautiful this planet is. And to do that, we've created a picture gallery on our website, which all the details will be in the show notes. So you can check out our little gallery of photos. And if you have a beautiful photo that you would like to post on our website, obviously photo credit is given to the people who share the photos, but everything will be on display. So we are accepting photos if you would like to share them on our website. So there's only probably a handful of photos up there currently, but we are definitely open to
Yep.
accepting photos to show in our, I forget what we called it, just the nature gallery or something like that.
Yeah, because it does remind you, and I always hear that song in my head when we talk about how beautiful the world is. It's Louis Armstrong's "What a Wonderful World." You you can't say it any better than that song that he wrote
Yeah,
because it truly is. It's magical beyond what people realize, and it's wonderful and it's beautiful, and it when it's balanced and harmonized, it provides everything.
absolutely.
So we
So
should celebrate it.
definitely. And, you know, focusing on the beauty within nature as well is like that's how you step away and unplug
Yeah,
from the chaos, when you ground in nature, when you connect with nature, that is a way to step out of the chaos and to come back to center point kind of thing, right? So we're
yeah.
hoping that our lovely gallery will help with that.
Well, I think very soon I will be heading back to the Bundalea Forest. Should be beautiful, lush and green. Um, I've been there many times, but I want to see the differences at all the different times of the year and the energy because the Bundalia Forest has some massive, powerful portals and ley lines. So I'm curious how energetically that alters with the seasons and
Mhm.
how different the energy is at different times a year. So
Yeah, and I'm
I,
sure even from day to day it would be different as well because everything is energy in the universe. So,
yeah,
even just
and
the
I'm
day that it is, there's a different energy associated with it. So I would imagine the energy of the forest or anywhere is different on those days as well.
and I would say to people, get your camera or your phone, whichever you prefer. Get your sunrises, your sunsets, take some photos, and you might capture some amazing energies, similar to what I capture, and lots of other people do.
Yeah,
Those green and blue, and you can't explain them. No, it's not reflection from this, that. It is beautiful energy.
yeah, absolutely. And if you want to see the rainbow that Estelle was talking about, that is on the gallery as well. Well,
Now, if we could, on one episode, rainbows are becoming a thing, as in quite a phenomena. They are more frequent. Double, triple rainbows are becoming quite frequent. And the belief is, like we've discussed this, the rainbow frequency, Mother Earth is bringing things back to a higher, more wonderful frequency for not just humanity, but for the birds, the animals, the insects, trees, plants, mycelium, everything. So we're seeing it through the rainbows. So I'll put a thing there if people want to see a rainbow, take a photo and take notice how frequent rainbows are becoming. And that is the message telling us, humanity, we're coming, we are in the era of
yeah,
better times.
absolutely. And like, what's at the end of a rainbow? Pot of gold. Or the golden
Maybe
age.
yep, and just be careful of those feisty little leprechauns
Yeah.
with the pot gold.
But I think like as a symbol, it's just showing that they're like you said, there's good times are coming
Yeah,
there.
and colours are energy, that
Yeah.
have that frequency, healing. Lots of wonderful things. So when we look at the rainbows, let's understand they're telling us the energies are shifting and we're going to live in a better world. We're going to heal. We're not going to have sick people. And if they do get sick, they can be healed.
Yeah, absolutely. Any closing thoughts on our wonderful episode today? I think we definitely created order out of chaos today.
I think so. We've had a bit of chaos.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say I don't know if this is for you. I don't know if this is something we talk on the episode now, but I found that we were a little rusty at the beginning of the episode because we haven't recorded in a while, and I felt we were just a little out of sync, and then all of a sudden we synced up.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a bit rusty. That's okay because it's a reminder, isn't it? It's a reminder it's okay not to be perfect.
Yep. And just got to have the courage to jump in and do it and the
Yeah,
patience to allow the order to come through.
yeah, because it will. It will. Absolutely.
Well, I think we have to leave it there.
I do. I think that's a good point to leave it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you to all of our wonderful listeners. And a reminder again, if you have any awesome nature photos or rainbow photos that you'd like to share, send them our way. You can check out our email address and send it to us, and we will host it on our gallery. And if you would like to be a guest on our podcast, we are accepting guests. We cover a wide range of topics. I don't think there's any exclusions at all. So if you have something you'd like to talk about and it falls into the realm of, well, basically everything, then,
Well, we
and
did discuss the scientists with the theory of everything,
yeah,
toad. So
there you
we
go.
are the toad channel.
There you go. Theory of Everything channel. All things woo woo and soul related lessons and growth and
All right.
energy, all of that. If you would like
Yep.
to be a guest, we are accepting guests. So please also reach out to us. Once again, dear listeners, thank you. Please give us a like, a comment, subscribe. We'd love to hear from you. And until next time, we will see you.